1998. That's when it started. That's when everything was like coming together. We dropped Most Tasteless. Y'all boo. Didn't matter though. We were in a test. It was an experiment to find out which way to go we had. No paint, masks, powder, pasty little vampires.
At one point, we was wearing like baby powder and to like simulate the creepy, loopy goth vampires is what everybody called it. You know, but I'm a fat kid and I sweat a lot, so I would get like little dingleberries all over my face. That shit was nasty as hell.
We had contacts, no paint, no contacts, and then finally a hit.
Yeah, theatrics has always been a big part of what we do. When we got signed to Psychopathic, it was the perfect place for us to be because that's like how they present their stuff. It's theatrics, themes, shows. So obviously, you know, that was the perfect place for us and what we were looking to do.
See, all this was just in a good attempt to be different, not just come out and be the with the towel, just boring. It's like to add more to it than just music. Also something to look at.
We're nationwide. We were starting to go on tour. We were getting ready to headline our own tour for the first time ever. We were going to be in a tour bus on the road, going and playing shows for people who wanted to hear us. That's some shit. Alright? I'm letting you know, that's some powerful shit.
Psychopathic put it out. Like, hell yeah, look at this shit. Bam. Next thing you know, like a couple weeks after that, Alex was like, we got to pull the record off. What? We just signed with Island. We're like, huh?
When the Island distribution deal came and we had to come real quick with the Most Tasteless reissue, it had a whole bunch of new songs and we were like tightening up our game because now we were going to be exposed to a brighter audience.
It's like, okay, how can we expand from just being rappers? That was like the thing. We wanted to branch out, that longevity. Big Money Hustlers came around.
But when we were on the road during Most Tasteless touring times with ICP, Joe, Violent J, he had an idea for this movie called Big Money Hustlers. And it was fucking awesome. We would sit there every night after doing a show. Everybody would go, you know, clean up, we'd go eat dinner, and then we'd meet back in the tour bus and we'd sit there and write this, what became Big Money Hustlers. We had all the characters, what they do, all of it was fucking amazing. And not even a short time later, we're actually standing behind lights and we're filming this fucking idea we put on paper, which became Big Money Hustlers and spawned off the characters Big Baby Sweets, Lil Poop, Sugar Wolf. It's Sugar Bear, but I call the motherfucker Sugar Wolf. I fought to get him called Sugar Wolf, and he ended up being called Sugar Bear. Creative differences. Nonetheless, in Big Stank, we came out. Big Stank and Little Pooh was a big hit for us. People got to see the comedy aspect of what me and Paul do. It wasn't always so rah-rah, all up in your face. We were actually making you laugh. On one aspect, we scare you. On the other aspect, we make you laugh. That's kind of makes it twisted. Everything we did during the movie was all ad-lib. I mean, we had like on the paper, this is a scene, you know, these people here with Big Stank and Little Pooh, and we just pretty much ad-libbed everything. And that's, in my opinion, what made a lot of it fun. Now we in a movie.
So from all the touring and all of this, now we got a nationally distributed record. It was that successful, like, whoa. But not mainstream successful, not, you know, MTV and radio and all that. I'm talking like underground, like Ghetto Gold, hundreds of thousands. Like, wow. That's some shit that most people never even heard of. 3 out of 5 people probably that you would have asked back then, they didn't know who it was. But with all that, you could see that the seed was planted and that something was growing. Had to do another record.
When we record albums, while they're in the store selling, we're already working on a new album. So while Most Tasteless reissue was just like on the shelves, we was working on the next record, which was Freak Show.
By the time Freak Show came out, it was like, whoa. Jamie was like, we just came from basically this little seed. You know, we started with something. Of course, everybody starts with something, but it was on such a little scale that we didn't know what to expect. So now with being able to go out and tour, it's like, okay, we got to do it the right way. So Freak Show, first headlining tour, we had this big ass statue demon. It was devastating. It was huge. It was about 40 G's.
And when Freak Show hit, we like had our shit together on lock. Things were coming together. People were coming to shows painted up like us. Madrox and Monoxide and the whole Twisted family was growing at rapid speeds. And we had just begun to start what was going to be our career with doing this underground music.
I mean, we had the whole shit. We had the setup. It was dope. We had just what we wanted. You know, we had 10 buses.
There was a tour bus for the crew. There was a tour bus for me and Paul. There was a tour bus just to haul the liquor and cigarettes and other things. There was a tour bus just for snacks. It was like an on wheels catering service. Because we gotta eat good when we do what we do.
Semis, it was like all this shit was going on for this 1 hour.
Freak Show was by far the first time that we were ever able to stand on our own 2 feet. It was like we've given you guys this opportunity. Now let us see you do your thing by yourself. We've shown you everything we can show you. Now it's on you to walk on your own. And we did just that. We went into the studio. That's when we met Fritz. Fritz is the crazy, psychotic motherfucker who engineered and helped us bring all the medleys together and who is now like our producer and part of the Psychopathic family.
I mean, you could just see Fritz had the vision from the minute you saw his ponytail. So Freak Show came out. After all that, we toured forever. It seemed like we toured forever. We never got to go home. We went home and our families didn't even know who we were. We were knocking on the door. We didn't even know they moved. But it was gravy. We had a mission. There was nothing that was going to stop. It was like we had that vision. We knew what we had to do now. Everything was clear. It was like clairvoyance.
It might have seemed to a lot of people like when we brought out Mirror Mirror that we were like in this cocky phase, because when the motherfucker came out there was little to no promotion. The album title didn't even feature the Twisted name. It was just a picture of me and Paul in the front, and when you turned it on the back it said Mirror Mirror. You didn't even know if there were any songs on the motherfucker.
Mirror Mirror was dope because we really didn't tell anybody. We just did it. We were like, here you go, Alex. You know, you ain't just put it out. Promoted it a little bit through the internet. Didn't even have distribution in the beginning. But it was like we wanted to see where it was at. Because Freak Show, hundreds of thousands. It was like, oh shit. We done found something.
What we did is we put together, like, it was like 7 or 8 songs of some crazy shit. And that was the point in time when we started getting more into the production feel. We were actually doing tracks with Fritz.
Like Fritz was in it. You know what I mean? It was like, it was no more, we came in, and it was like everybody was on the same page. He knew what the fuck was going on. He could go home and sit in a weird shed with this weird lighting and concoct some shit. And then we hear it, we'd be like, oh, we know right where that's at. You know, you could just tell.
Coming into our own even more. Every time it's like an evolution. When we drop an album, we come out and we try to raise the bar on what we do. Because that's how we do.
So by Mirror Mirror, it was like we just bat. It was like nothing. Halfway through that, we were like, man, we're getting really, really good at this shit. Let's start another one.
With all the attention and props that we received from like the Big Stank and Lil Poop characters during Big Money Hustlers, we thought that it might be a good idea, seeing how people are digging us on the funny aspect, to try to come with something that could be visually and funny again. And there was born the Purple Show. We were in a situation where my brother was incarcerated.
I got arrested going out to the studio. This is a couple years ago.
I mean, they put guns to my head too. And then they dragged him away. And that was some bullshit.